Good morning, children. I am Anmol Messi, PGT Physics, Mount Litra Z School, Jhansi. Children, in a previous video, we have studied about total internal reflection and what exactly reflection as a phenomenon mean. Now, today we are going to study about refraction. Okay. So, what is refraction? When a light ray travels from one medium to another, it bends either towards the normal or it bends away from the normal. That is, it deviates from its path. This phenomena is actually known as refraction, but then we'll discuss one by one the cases of refraction. So this is case number one. When the light ray is traveling in rarer medium to denser medium, it would bend towards the normal and the angle of incidence is always greater than angle of refraction. In reflection, angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection, but here I is not equal to r. In this particular case, I is greater than r. Okay, and obviously if the light ray is coming from rarer medium, then its velocity would be more, and when it would enter a denser medium, its velocity would decrease. So v1 would be greater than v2. Talking about case number 2, when the light ray is coming from denser to rarer medium, obviously it would bend away from the normal and angle I would be smaller than angle r. And since it is coming from denser medium, so its velocity would be less, but when it enters the rarer medium, its velocity would increase. Now, if we talk about the laws of refraction, the laws of refraction are same which you have studied in small classes, in maybe in class 10th. First law is that the incident ray, the normal ray, and the refracted ray all lie in the same plane. Okay. And the second law is Snell's law, which is mu is equal to sin I upon sin r. Now, since we have started with refraction, let us complete the topic of prism. So, what is a prism? When two refracting surfaces are inclined at a certain angle, also known as angle of prism, the setup is known as prism. So, this is a glass prism in which we have two refracting surfaces. One is this, and the other one is this. And this is the angle on at which both the inclined planes, both the refracting surfaces are inclined. Okay. This particular angle is known as angle of prism. So as you can clearly see, the incident ray enters from here, and since it is entering from rarer to denser medium, so it bends away from the normal. This is actually your refracted ray. Now when it comes out of the prism, it bends again away from the normal because it is coming from denser to rarer medium. Okay, this is your emergent ray. So after marking all the angles, this is angle I, this is R1, this is R2, and this is your I dash, that is your angle of emergence. We can even extend this incident ray and emergent ray, so they meet at this point. This particular point, at this particular point, we form an angle which is known as delta or angle of deviation. Okay, so now let us derive a relation for this prism. So we would first of all consider angle QPD. Okay, now which is angle QPD? QPD. Okay, QPD. So in this particular angle, uh, or maybe we can say, to find this angle, what we can do is, this is angle I, and this entire angle would also be considered as I because these are vertically opposite angles. And from that I, if we subtract R1, we will get this angle. So this angle which is QPD would be I minus R1, and similarly this angle would be I dash minus R2. Okay, and if both the angles are considered in this particular triangle, this from here to here, this upper triangle which we have made over here, if we consider these two angles in this triangle, then these are the base angles. So there is a property of triangle where we can say that the exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of opposite interior angles. So in this triangle, that is DPQ, when we would add both the base angles, we would get delta. Okay, so here we can clearly see that on adding QPD and DQP, we get delta. We have put the values over here, and we have taken out delta as our subject. Now if we add angle A and angle O from the diagram, we would get 180 degree. It is clearly seen in the diagram because those angles are opposite angles of a quadrilateral. Okay. Now for angle A, we already have the value. Okay. I'm sorry. If we consider the another triangle which I would show in the diagram, see, in this particular triangle, that is triangle POQ, R1 plus R2 plus angle O, this would also become 180. So as per the diagram, if we add angle A and angle O, we would get 180. Also, as per this triangle, R1 plus R2 plus angle O would give us 180 degree. Okay, so I have written both the equations over here very clearly, that on adding the opposite angles of the quadrilateral we are getting 180 degree, and also the sum of angles of the triangle would also give us 180 degree. Okay, now because both are equal to 180 degree, so we are going to equate both the equations, and this O would get cancelled out and we are left with R1 plus R2 over here, and here we are left with A. So here we have a relation that angle of prism is equal to R1 plus R2. Okay, this value we can put in this equation, and finally we are getting delta is equal to I1 plus I dash minus A. Okay, delta is equal to I plus I dash minus A. Let us suppose that if the angle of deviation is minimum, then whenever angle of deviation is minimum, I is equal to I dash and R1 is equal to R2. Okay, so as we know that A is equal to R1 plus R2, if we put in place of R1 and R2, if we put R and R, so A would become 2R. Okay, and if we keep R as our subject, then it would become A by 2. Then also we have this equation delta is equal to I plus I dash minus A. Okay, so in place of I and I dash we can write simply I, so this would become I plus I is 2I. Now if we put I as a subject, so it would become delta M plus A by 2. So we are having the value of angle of refraction and angle of incidence. So now we can apply Snell's law. So as per Snell's law, mu is equal to sin I upon sin R. If we put all the values over here, that is the value of I and R, then we would get the expression for refractive index.